All right, let's dive into something really powerful but also kind of challenging. It's a way of thinking called cognitive independence. And trust me, it completely changes how you see the world, how you deal with rules, with groups, and even with your own thoughts.
You know that feeling, right? You're in a meeting, or maybe even just a family get-together, and someone lays down a rule. Everyone else just nods. But in your head, a little voice pops up and goes, wait, but why? You just have to know the reason behind it. Well, that little voice, that feeling, that's exactly what we're digging into.
So yeah, there's a name for that. It's called cognitive independence. And really, all it means is that you don't just accept things because someone said so. Nope, you run it through your own filter. You look for the actual evidence and use your own brain instead of just taking someone's word for it, no matter who they are. Okay, so what does this actually look like day to day? Let's break it down into 6 key signs. Think of this next part as your own personal field guide, so you can spot this way of thinking out in the wild, or hey, maybe even in yourself.
So here we go. Number 1, you're always asking for the reason. You don't just want the rule, you want the why behind it. Number 2, you test the claim. Even if an expert says something is a done deal, you're still going to want to see the evidence for yourself. 3 is a big one. You resist the group mood. When everyone else is freaking out or getting swept up in excitement, you're the one who stays calm and just thinks. Number 4, you can disagree without making a big scene. You can hold a different opinion and not feel this burning need to prove you're right. 5, you're quick to update your beliefs. If new facts come along that show you were wrong, no problem. You'll change your mind, just like that. And finally, number 6, you use an internal scorecard. What matters is what you think of your work, not how much applause you get from the outside.
I mean, just look at that quote. You don't copy the group's mood, you stay calm and think. That really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? This isn't about being some loud rebel picking fights. It's an internal thing. It's about protecting your own clear head when everything around you is just noise. It's a really quiet but powerful kind of strength. Okay, so this all sounds pretty great, right? Like a superpower. But here's the twist. This way of thinking can make other people really, really nervous. And the reason why all comes down to that last thing we mentioned, that internal scorecard. Let's look at this comparison, because it's absolutely key. See, most of the world runs on society's scorecard, right? It uses things like praise, status, and yeah, even shame to get you to do things. It's all about external approval. But if you're running on your scorecard, none of that stuff matters as much. Your guide is your own set of principles, your own logic. You're your own judge and jury. And that is the bottom line. It makes you hard to control. Think about it. When you're the one setting the standards for yourself, it becomes almost impossible for anyone else to manage you or pull your strings. You're just not playing their game anymore.
So let's really spell it out. If praise doesn't really move the needle for you, and shame just rolls off your back, then what's left? The usual social toolkit just doesn't work on you. And what's more, when you just ask that simple question, why, you sometimes, without even trying, expose a huge flaw in the group's logic. You're not trying to cause trouble, but for a group that runs on, this is just how we do things, your independence can feel like a genuine threat.
But is that really the point? To be a threat? I don't think so. There's a much better way to see this. What if we reframe the whole idea? What if it's not about being a rebel, but about being a guardian?
This is such a common mistake people make. They see someone asking questions and they think, oh, they're just being difficult. You know, trying to get attention. But the reality is so much more profound. The real motivation isn't to start a fight. It's to protect something precious, clear thinking. It's about defending logic from just coasting on habit or caving to pressure. Which leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. I mean, in a world that runs so much on autopilot, on just doing things because that's how they've always been done, who's actually standing guard over clear thinking? Who's making sure we're not just sleepwalking? Maybe, just maybe, it's that person who, even when it's uncomfortable, just can't stop themselves from asking why.